The Department of Education opened a summit to combat bullying.
Ty's father says his son was bullied so badly in school that he took his own life.
I had trouble with the kids before, the same exact kids.
Teenage bullying and teasing is an epidemic in this country, and the death rate is climbing.
Celebrities like Ellen DeGeneres are on the bandwagon to raise awareness of the devastating consequences of bullying. Members of the Johnson family of Tuttle, Oklahoma, are living those consequences.
It started about 6th grade. I hadn't came out yet, but people had already kind of started guessing, and then in 8th grade when I did come out, it just got progressively worse from there.
Kelby is transgendered. She feels like a male, even though she was born female. Kelby's mother, Londa, says as a youngster, her daughter was popular, a great athlete who excelled in basketball and softball.
By the time that she got a little older, you know, the kids didn't want to play against her. They didn't want to guard her. They didn't want her to touch them. And they would say that.
Kelby says through all the shunning, bullying, and harassment, her family was always there for her.
They were up at that school fighting for me every day. They fought for me at home. They talked to me. They let me know they were there. And that's what every kid needs, is for their parents to get involved in their life, to know what's going on, and to tell them that they got their backs no matter what.
But Londa says the school failed to protect her daughter.
She's my child, and you want people to realize when they say things or when they do things that you're talking to a child.
And one day there was a turning point that changed the course of their lives.
There was a group of about 6 boys in a minivan. They had drove around the block about 4 times, yelling things at us, poking us with an umbrella, throwing things at us. Finally, about the 5th time that they had drove around, I had stepped into the road to ask them to stop because I was sick of it. And instead of slowing down or anything, he had sped up and hit me.
Kelby hit the hood, bounced off, and onto the ground. Fortunately, she had no serious injuries. She and her mother say the school did nothing about the incident.
You know, the minute that someone in a motor vehicle decided not to stop and decided to speed up and hit her, it took on a whole new reality for us.
That is when Kelby quit going to school. Her family told Kelby they would move out of town, but she said no.
I wanted to stay there and fight and in hope that I could change a few minds, you know, because one mind change, that's enough for me. But about my junior year, you know, I realized I'm going to need more people. I'm going to need an army for this thing.
That is when Londa contacted the Ellen DeGeneres Show and was put in touch with the documentary filmmaker Lee Hirsch. In the documentary Bully, soon to be released in Oklahoma theaters, Kelby explains how even the teachers harassed her.
The teacher was calling roll and said boys, and then he said girls, and then paused and said Kelby. And another teacher told me how they burned fags and kept talking about it with me in the classroom.
And I think the students saw them joining in and thought, well, if they can do it, you know, we can do it too. And so it was literally the whole town that was joining in on this, just bullying me, my whole high school experience.
Daryl Scott has committed his life to educating teachers and students about the effects of verbal abuse and turning a blind eye to bullying. His daughter Rachel was the first person killed in the Columbine High School massacre in 1999. Scott started Rachel's Challenge after he began reading her essays and diaries after her death.
And my daughter wrote about these 3 groups that she reached out to at her school. She said, I want to reach out to those that are disabled because they're often overlooked. I want to reach out to those that are new at school because they don't have friends yet. And I want to reach out to those that are picked on or put down by others.
Scott showed this film about his daughter to a group of educators in Tulsa. It describes how Rachel stood up for the bullied and saved lives at Columbine.
And Adam told us, as he was telling us the story, he was crying. And he said, Mr. Scott, he said, Rachel died just a couple of months later, and she died not knowing that she saved my life from suicide because I was planning to commit suicide. And when she stood up for me that day and she got her friends to be my friends, I changed my mind about taking my life.
A group of Tulsa students who watched the film took part in a focus group after it was over. Chris Siemens of the Mental Health Association of Tulsa facilitated.
What types of bullying behavior have you seen at your school?
Verbal bullying
cyberbullying too. You know, stuff like Facebook that you can easily bully people and use websites and stuff like that, and make fun of people about how they look, what they did.
At first, the students seemed a little tentative, just talking about what they observe, and then it became very personal.
It's devastating what it can do to some people. I mean, because of bullying, I have tried to commit suicide, but I have told myself that, someday it's going to get better. To be honest, I don't really feel safe at my school. And the reason why is there's, constant dangers of abuse and bullying, and I've seen a lot of teachers, seeing that happen, and they never do anything to stop it.
What do bystanders do when they see the bullying happen?
For me, I feel really bad because I never do anything. I just sit there and, I feel really bad because sometimes I even laugh. And I just feel like I don't do anything, and I really should try to help them out and tell somebody.
I have been bullied and have bullied, and just today I've realized the things that I have done, and I just want to say to people, if I have bullied you, I am truly sorry.
The students said the Rachel's Challenge film is something every student should see.
Maybe if this program comes to our school, I think a lot of people would second guess about the things they have done, or think, or just even apologize to the people they have done it to.
Kelby Johnson hopes every young person, as well as all adults, will see the film Bully. She believes it will change hearts and start important dialogue.
I think what I want them to get out of it is that we can be the generation to stand up and say, this isn't going to be us. We're going to put a stop to this now so our children do not have to go through this. And that no matter what school you go to, no matter what parents you have, you deserve the love and respect that everyone else gets.